Let's go into Job, the book of Job, just before the book of Psalms. And I understand that our generation don't like to read the Bible. But tonight, I'm promising you that I'm going to show you some things that are going to be absolutely revelatory to you. And if you just follow this, man, you follow this, what I'm going to show you tonight, you're going to be all right. Okay? Job. Go into Job in about chapter 5. Job chapter 5. And of course, you know most of the things about Job. Job, the Bible says, was perfect, upright, stayed away from evil. God blessed him. God loved Job. However, you know, Job gets into dialogue with about 3 of his buddies about why he's going through what he's going through. Many of you have entertained conversations with people concerning your life. Psychologists, psychiatrists, well-meaning teachers, advisors, mentors, things of that nature. And that's all right. That's all right. It's always important to good godly counsel. Good godly counsel. That's the key. You need to be talking to some people that are hooked up to God. All right. Now, what happens is we find out something about man's nature in about verse 6. He says, although affliction cometh not forth of the dust, neither doth trouble spring out of the ground, yet man is born into trouble. I won't let that sink in. Let me get that one more time. Yet man is born into trouble as the sparks fly upward. Let me explain. You born into some stuff. You didn't create it, but you were born into it. It was inherent in you. And so half of your life is going to be spent trying to overcome some of the junk that you had nothing to do with in the first place. I want to show you tonight that if you just decide in your mind, if you decide in your mind that you're not going to allow the things around you to stop you from being successful, man, you got one step ahead about half the people on the face of the planet. A lot of people are running around talking about the things that happened to them, and they are using them as limitations. You better take that stuff off if you're going to be successful. Yeah, you got to get rid of that stuff. You can't let it keep you down. Look, I was told that I shouldn't do this because I'm still on probation. And they said, you know, why would you do that? You haven't fully been, quote unquote, delivered from that thing. There's a chance that you can go back. I said, not in a chance of hell. I'm not going back. You don't have to go back to the stuff that God has delivered you out of. Absolutely not. Don't think like the world. The world says that once you lie, you're always a liar. Once you steal, you're always a thief. But that's not true. You're born into trouble, but that don't mean you can't get out. You can get out of trouble. Most importantly, you were designed to get out of trouble. The whole purpose for you living was to be able to be born into something that you can get out of. And I'm not going to spend a lot of time talking about what you were born into and trying to point the finger at all the stuff that's surrounding you, because what's most important is that you get out, not just get out, but stay out. Y'all ain't with me in here. You think I came to play with you. I came to get you out, bro. I came with the keys. Yeah. That's it right there, bro. I've got the key to get you out of here and keep you out. There's some people that are trying to sell you some foolishness. Your success is on the line. You've got to get your mind right tonight and decide, make a conscious decision way in a place that you've never even thought of before. You've got to go into your head and say, look, self, I'm going to be successful whether you like it or not. I'm not going to allow myself to make decisions that's going to cost me my success. Get that? Yeah. Now, I came with the goods tonight. I just want to teach you a little bit, though. I came with the goods tonight. I came with the keys to get you out of here and to keep you out. I really have. Let me show you, my brothers, why I'm not going to spend any more time talking about what you were born into. Because every time we do that, we relive that foolishness all over again. You got to stop allowing it to live. The more attention you give something, you give it life. You give it life. I'm not going to spend a bunch of time talking about what you were born into, and I know it was terrible, but you know what? You better get to a point where you've cried your last tear, my brother. You've got to get to a point to where you have cried your last tear, and you say, you know what? I am going to get up and get over this. I'm going to get up and get over it because it's costing me too much of my time. And I can't afford to continue reliving this pain all over again, like some Groundhog Day experience where you are continually, perpetually reliving the rape, reliving the pain, reliving the poverty. No. The time is up on everything that happened to you. There was a great pastor in Texas that many of you guys have probably seen on TV. His name's Joel Osteen. One of the things he said one time, he said, nothing, absolutely nothing happens to a believer anymore. He said, but everything happens for them. Fellas, you got to understand something. That's a mindset. That's an attitude change. And many of us need an attitude adjustment. We need to think differently about life, and you need to stop trying to be a victim of your environment and start being a victor. Stop saying what it did to you and start saying what you did to it. Does that make sense to you? Stop talking about what your mom did to you and now make a change in your life. You can say, well, I'm going to start affecting my mother. I'm going to start affecting her in a positive light. I know what she did to me. I know what they did to me. However, now it's time for me not to pay them back for what they did, but to stand up on my own 2 feet and say, you know what? I refuse to allow other people and conditions around me to control who I am and exactly what God is trying to do in my life. This is absolutely the most important time of your life. You are on your way to greatness.